Do. Welcome to the podcast. I'm the guy you've never met before.
Hello.
And
It's
I'm the other guy.
There we go. So here we are with Chance
Hello.
and Kasey,
Hello.
also known as Armored Unicorn.
Indeed.
Unicorn with many skills.
Sort of like a hacker him.
Yeah. League of Legends references for the win. So today we're thinking of talking about survival games. Because we all have a long and horrific history in playing survival games.
Oh boy.
Those were the days. So, I suppose we'll start off with the classic DayZ.
Right.
So we've all played DayZ, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, you didn't play it at the beginning, did you, Kasey? You kind of came into it in the standalone, I think.
Yeah.
So we can maybe start off with the mod, because me and Chance started there.
Yeah, it sounds cool. Chronological and
Yeah,
all.
that was a while back. Wow.
That was in our
Couple
youth.
years, right?
Yeah. In fact,
Wow.
didn't I meet you on DayZ? Was it DayZ?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, it was a long time ago, so I've known Chance for like a few years now, just through that really.
Yeah. Best buds.
Yeah. Go way back, man. So let's have a think. So like I don't know, how did you find it when you first like started playing DayZ? What was like the feeling you got from it? What was like the thing that made you want to play it?
Well, that was a couple years ago, as we said. I had still been playing on a really crappy laptop, and I
Oh,
had
I remember
discovered
that.
DayZ through a YouTube video of someone crashing a helicopter in a devil's castle. I was like, ooh, that looks like fun. So I picked it up, managed to get it to barely run on my laptop, and I ran around and died randomly. I had no idea what I was doing. I was so confused, and I had never had that much fun before.
See, my experience was like I think I'd heard it through YouTube videos, and I think I had to go home or something. I wouldn't have my computer for like a week, and I installed it just before and like played it for 2 days. It was like, oh my god, I can't play it for like a week because it was that good. Because I remember the first time I played, I was playing with a friend of mine, Alex, and we never played it before. And we kind of spawned in on this map, and it was night time. We couldn't see anything, and like people were throwing flares on the floor, and it was really really scary. And you bump into people, and like in the middle of the dark, and kind of everyone's lost and confused, and people were helping each other out, and there was this kind of real feeling of like just meeting random people and helping each other out, and then there'd be some psycho shooting everyone. So it was really exciting because everyone was so scared and kind of I don't know, it was like really human because people were actually trying to come together to survive this like horrific, frightening experience.
Yeah, my first sort of story like experience in the game was my third life when I'd finally started to figure out how I could crouch, stuff like that. I met this one guy. He didn't have a mic, and we ended up moving up pretty far north. And he realized that we could crawl through an entire city because that was like the unpatched version of the mod where you could basically crawl right next to a zombie and they couldn't see you.
Yeah.
We were like crawling through entire towns. It took like 3 hours, and like we ended up getting a bunch of those hopping zombies aggroed on us.
Oh yeah.
We ended up running across a field, and like I think we lost him. I think we lost him. And I like had my binoculars, so I turned around and looked, and I could see them coming out of the trees. I was like, oh my god, here they come. That was before they would lose aggro on you. So
Yeah.
me being the inexperienced player, it's like I'll go get him. You run the other direction. I ended up dying.
I think that's what I like. It was really fun at the beginning. I think what kind of got like became a bit of a shame was everyone kind of learned how to play the system. So you'd like I used to go in Rambo style and just gather all the zombies and then lead them away while everyone looted. Um, And there was just a lot of things like people would focus on certain areas and work out certain things, and like I don't know. I mean, I'm interested to see what Kasey thinks about it because you came into it later, and at the beginning everyone was very kind of team-minded, working together, but we saw this kind of slow descent into just the reality of human beings, like that they're actually just want to kill each other when it comes down to it.
I'll give you.
What was that one book with the kids that end up like going crazy and killing each other? Spoilers, by the way.
Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
Basically what all Lord of the Flies, except Russian.
Yeah. What are you gonna say, Kasey?
So the legitimate first thing that ever happened to me in DayZ Standalone was I spawned on the coast where everyone spawns, and was making my way towards Electro, and then came across some geared guy, and naively started speaking to him and not running on. And he said, "Oh, how long have you been playing the game?" I said, "This is the first time I've ever played it." And he said, "Welcome to DayZ," and just shot me in the head.
Oh my gosh.
And
was he wearing a gas mask?
He was actually, yeah, he was wearing a gas mask.
Oh, you don't trust people wearing gas masks, man.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that by that
one.
point. I didn't know that. I was just like, okay, right, well, this starts me mean to go on.
So how did you view the game when you were playing? Did you view it more as like a kill or be killed kind of scenario? Because you came in like in the standalone, didn't you? You didn't play the mod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The standalone. I started watching through Gold Glove, and yeah, I mean, I knew how would you say it? Well, I guess violent the people were towards each other on the game. I don't really know how else, but well, how aggressive they were, and so I sort of went out thinking, I'll be a hero, and I had a clan. Oh, I was in a clan, and we used to go around and recruit people, and I met some cool guys from doing that actually that we picked up. And basically, yeah, just spent a lot of time trying to help people. And then it got to a point where you sort of start getting fed up with just being shot in the face because you go and talk to somebody who's got like a magnum in his back pocket and you don't know about. And I mean, I was guilty. I did do that one time.
Or even better, the guy with a fire extinguisher.
Oh god. But yeah, I mean, from the start, I was trying to be a hero, and I sort of viewed it as a game that I thought, like, I really loved the concept of it because I didn't really play any game.
Yeah.
Before that was like that, and it was my first real PC game I bought actually because I didn't really play the PC before that. So yeah, I really liked that, and there was a group on Steam, and I guess it's more viable now than it was back then because now you can do a lot more stuff in the standalone. I think like you can make bases and like houses your base and lock doors and all of that.
Can
cool
you do
stuff.
that now? Have they actually managed to put that
cool.
in?
I think they'll put that in. But there was gonna be a group of us, and there was about 50 of us, and we were gonna basically shortlist people, and I got in to be like a captain of a squad, and it was basically, have you seen The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
So you know how they go to that town and it's sort of all garrisoned out and it's where the creepy guy lives.
Oh
in,
yeah.
like season 3, and then they go and hunt the main guys afterwards.
I think so. Is it?
Yeah, I think
is
I
it a black
remember that.
guy that they meet?
Yeah, the black girl.
No, I thought it was a guy.
What? The
I
girl
think
that
you're
runs
talking
around
about the
with
guy from the first episode.
The guy from the first episode that he sees in the 3rd season in a house. Okay, no, I'm getting totally confused.
By the way,
confused.
spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
God,
Jesus.
guys.
Oh yeah, sorry. Okay, so basically we were just gonna make a town. We were gonna take control of a town and have like constant surveillance of the town, and it was gonna be like called Heaven or something like that, and it was gonna be
Oh well.
like close to where you'd spawn. This was obviously before like they started spawning you in like the middle of the map. And yeah, we were gonna have squads that basically go out, and if they come across like bandits and take them out if they're acted upon, and basically just stockhold their gear so that if you're new, you can just run over, grab some gear, and join the community or be on your way, and just basically make it a nicer place or a place where people can actually have faith in. Because it's a pretty lawless place right
Yeah.
now. I mean, that's why I ended up stop playing it, because it literally just got to the point where I'd spawn, get to um Electro, or get to the other one. Forgot the other one.
Cherno.
No, the other one. Berezino.
Oh yeah.
And I just end up dying. I just like after the 50th time it happened, I was like, okay, I'm done now. But yeah, that was my experience with DayZ.
Yeah, I mean, I think what was hard as someone who's played the mod is, I think Chance will agree with this, is the mod got to a certain point where there was quite a lot of stuff in it, and then we waited 2 years or something for the standalone,
Yeah.
and then that came out, and it had hardly anything that the mod had in it. It was like way behind.
And
And
it ran worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it ran worse. And like now, like I think they're catching up, but I think one thing I loved about the mod was you were part of this really evolving game that every update there'd be something fascinating and new, and that hasn't felt like it's happened for about 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
It feels like they've lost the majority of their community now as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the thing. DayZ did have a very
It sounds like the mod was a lot more community orientated as well.
I think it
So
was
you used to work together and stuff. Like you guys were saying, like you don't just randomly spawn and then get shot in the face.
Depends on when you went into the mod.
Yeah.
If you like, me and Stef, I believe, came in before. Like, I'm not gonna blame the YouTubers for the problem with the community, but I think it's a good like sort of time step for when the community went wrong.
Right.
You see like big YouTubers like Sakurio and stuff
Mm.
like starting to come on, and then you started to notice that people just started instantly killing each other as if it was just a giant deathmatch game. And we
Right.
came on just before that, really.
Yeah.
But after that, it was basically if you saw someone, you were guaranteed to get shot.
Mm.
I mean, I think that's what was sad because and I don't know. I kind of felt in the mod they were still bring out reasons to group. So like, I mean, they had this whole bandit good guy system in it as well, where like, well, originally it was just bandits. So like, if you killed loads of people, you'd end up looking different, and that did give people a reason, like, oh, I can become a bandit. That'll be really cool, like all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But it also like showed everyone this person was a bad guy. And so, like, people would defend themselves against it. So it kind of still maintained this kind of feeling of, like it still gave a reason to be a good guy, and, like, also pointed out who was bad.
Right.
And they also brought in,
Yeah,
like,
but-
heroes as well.
Right.
The thing with the bandit skin was that it had so many other problems along with it.
Mm.
Like, it didn't really... It was basically a matter of time until you got the bandit skin, because there were plenty of times where you had to kill in self-defense,
Right.
and
Yeah.
the game registered that as killing an innocent player. The system wasn't perfect, I guess. It still worked well.
Yeah.
I'm not sort of
It sounds sort of like
against that system.
it reminds me of Sword Art, where you get the player killers who go around and they'll, if they kill like other players in the game, they get like a little red line on the above their head or something.
Mm.
And I mean, I think they could implement something like that. I think the only way DayZ Standalone is going to get away from uh the amount of like deathmatch it is that it's got in it is if they either do something like Dying Light's done, where
What's that?
well, like, because in Dying Light, the zombies before it goes dark basically are pretty docile.
Uh-huh.
And then as soon as it turns to nighttime, they get like enraged and go crazy, and like if you get caught, like hordes of zombies come after you,
Mm.
and legitimately you probably will not survive. And so I think that in itself would be a really good concept for DayZ to sort of take, because you'd have all this stuff going on in the day where you can, you know, find a base, get gear, and then you've actually got an objective, sort of like Minecraft, where you've got to survive the night.
Yeah.
And I think if they did something around that and made it so that zombies actually, I mean, they've made zombies faster and they've introduced different types of zombies already, but if they did something where the zombies actually became a threat, whereas they're not really a threat at the moment because they're so sparsely populated in areas that you can just run away from them, you know? So
Finding of a really, really drunk person.
yeah, that's it. It's just I think then that'd give people, because at the moment, like if you play DayZ, there's no end game. There's no sort of story to like play towards to finish or to perpetuate. So you can't, unless you wanna, with a group of friends, try and survive. You're pretty much on your own trying to survive, and so I think that's when it gets into the mentality that, oh, everyone's probably going to kill me, I'll just kill them anyway. And so,
I mean, I
Is it-
think what they need is, I mean, when we talk about endgame, I think where the mod was going, what we were kind of hoping for with standalone was like, in the mods, the endgame was vehicles. So like, you'd get your vehicles and like you'd be with your friends, you'd do all that, and you'd kind of protect them and hide them and stuff in like random places in the forest. But in the mods, like there was a lot of hackers, so they'd find out where the vehicles were, they'd like blow them up or take them or whatever. So it became pointless. And in standalone, what they really need to do, which is what they've been planning to do, I mean, if they've got the base building in, that's really good.
Yeah.
And if they got some, I know that they got like what, a UAV in and like some kind of truck or something.
yeah, they've
Yeah, I
got
heard when they
trucks.
recently added. Yeah.
But I think they need more of that. They need like reasons like for that. I mean, what they could do. This is a really like controversial like idea. And it wouldn't work in DayZ, but I've thought about it, which I thought was quite interesting. You know, in GTA 5 online, do you know what they do with the bad players who murder people?
Yeah, they time them out, I think, don't they?
No, they do something even worse,
Oh, they match them together.
and they give them all dunce caps.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're all in this like little this own instance where they have, I think there's like actually weapons they can kill each other with, but they all have these stupid dunce hats on, and they have to like kind of behave for a period of time to get back into normal servers with the average
Yeah.
person.
So it's
And
sort of like a prison.
Yeah, it's basically Prisoner's Island, but I think the idea was, I think you could kill people, but I think it was more if you like griefed people by like constantly blowing up their cars and stuff when they weren't in them and stuff like that. I think that's how it worked.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching a Gold Glove thing, and it was when Heists got announced.
Yeah.
And yeah, when he was trying to play with one of his friends, and one of his friends had ended up getting, you know, penalized, whatever.
Yeah.
Where he gets instance matched with all the other people that are the same, and it was really funny actually thinking about it, because it's such a simple, somewhat controversial but effective way of dealing with the matter. That
But
I
does
hear
it
there's
though?
also a I
It
hear
does-
in,
Carry on, Chan, sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. I haven't played very much GTA 5 other than 5 minutes on the PS3 when it first came out, but I hear in GTA Online if you like kill other players, your sanity goes down or something. Is that a thing?
I don't know. I haven't played it for like since it came out. I played it for a little bit, but I don't know what I don't think I got put off it. But I think at the time there wasn't enough in it for me to want to keep playing.
Really?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff you could do. Like, it was really cool. I did play with a couple of friends, but I don't know. I kind of lost interest at the time because I'd got the car
I'm gonna
that I
hate your
wanted to
podcast
get.
now.
You were?
People are gonna hate this podcast now.
Well, I mean, I have actually preloaded and bought the PC, like the PC version, and I'm looking forward to playing it, like again, but playing it online. Because like, there's twice as many people on each server, so there's like 30 people per server. The heists are in now. Like, I think before that I felt it was a bit limited because I got my big like flat and I had I think it was the Adder, which was like one of the most expensive cars, and like I had that and I made it look cool. At least what I thought was cool. But it was still quite buggy. Like the online, like the actual like trying to load into like games or like little lobbies to play games with people. There were still problems with that while I was playing like a couple of months in.
Right.
So it was just quite frustrating. And also ways to make money seemed to revolve around like I just had to like play with my really good car, like spam car games and make loads of money that way. Whereas I think they've kind of done a lot more with like making money and kind of feeling part of your own little kind of gang or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I just lost my screen. It's okay.
I remember hearing about GTA being really buggy after release as well. So, I mean, I'm pretty excited for it. I never usually buy Grand Theft Auto games because I find I just end up going around doing crazy shit and just like killing all the pedestrians and stuff. Like, so I didn't really play after Vice City and San Andreas because I just spam a tank and then get 5-star wanted, go on a massive chase for about 45 minutes and then get caught eventually and then just like change to Tekken or something. But I'm legitimately excited for this one. I think it's going to be really good, and I like as well the graphical mods that you get for GTAs as well that make it look so much better and so realistic. So I think that's going to be quite exciting for the PC community to get hold of. And
yeah, getting ready for Carmageddon V2.
I think
I've actually downloaded that, the new Carmageddon. Have you heard about it?
I've not actually heard about it.
Do you know what Carmageddon is?
No. Is it like you just
So young, man. It's basically like a game where you have cars. It's supposedly a racing game, but actually you can just win by smashing up other cars.
Alright.
And they've been making one. Like the guys that made the original, like, are making a new one. I've played like the beta of it a bit. You can buy it, it's early access, so I'm not like ruining anything for anyone. Well, I am, but I'm like, it's all fine. I can ruin it for people without getting told off. But it's like, it's not bad. It's like, I think that kind of game style, like, it's fun. It was fun to play, but I kind of felt like it's really late 1990s, early 2000s kind of game, and it feels like that. But
I was referencing the GTA 4 mod.
Oh, called what? Carmageddon version 2?
It was just called Carmageddon. I remember watching some YouTube videos about it. They basically messed with the physics for the cars. So you could like tap on a car and it go flying into a building, and like you could barely survive on the streets because of all the NPCs in the cars.
These conversations made me feel so old. Like, I'm like referencing like probably what that mod's based on, but you guys are like, oh, I never played that.
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck you were talking about.
Oh, Jesus. God damn it. It's like, I did an article for the website, when was it? Today, on a game that came out called Pillars of Eternity, which is based on like the Baldur's Gate games. And I kind of joked in that about how old I was, because like the Baldur's Gate games came out, I think, late 90s, early 2000s or something. And it's a long time in gaming. So long.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I suppose I don't know. I think GTA is gonna be fun. I mean, the single player is amazing. I really enjoyed it on Xbox 360.
Hmm.
You really enjoyed that. The online is fun. I mean, I've in a way I'm pleased I haven't played the online for a couple of years because I think it would be really fun to play it on the PC. And also, like, I had a group of friends I was playing it with, but it wasn't people that kind of played that regularly, and they were very much like console gamers. I mean, they're lovely guys, but they're like console gamer type people. Nothing against console game type people, but PC Master Race and everything. But
Yeah,
I
wouldn't be
think it'd be
great.
fun to play with like my PC friends.
Yeah, I mean that's the reason I've sort of thought, yeah, I'll buy this because I know a good like five people that are buying it straight out, and they've already got it preloaded, so it's going to be fun to be able to just get a good lobby of friends and just like do heists and uh
Yeah,
play about in just multiplayer, and it legitimately looks more enticing. As well, I played Sleeping Dogs,
oh
and
yeah.
that sort of weaned me into the sort of Grand Theft Auto style where
Did
you
you like
can.
it?
What, Sleeping Dogs? I
Yeah, I
loved
got
it.
it, but
Oh, I love it. I think it's so good.
really, I didn't mind
Yeah,
it,
I
but I didn't
really want
like.
another one to come out.
You thought it
I
was
was
that good?
Yeah, I was gonna get the definitive version, like the new where they like updated everything, but it didn't look worth it for me. The stuff that they did, but yeah, I legitimately really liked it. I thought it was really good.
Oh, cool. Like, I didn't mind it. I don't know. I think I find it difficult because I kind of grew up on GTA games. I really like the kind of comedy in them. I mean, the fourth one didn't really have that, but the spin-offs to it, I think it's the Ballad of Gay Tony brought that back, and then there was GTA 5, which kind of really brings back a lot of the feel of kind of Vice City and San Andreas, which is really nice because I felt they got a bit too serious.
Yeah,
Uh, and it was also a bit depressing in the fourth one because in the games before you kind of build up an empire. Like in Vice City, you buy like your places, and you build up this empire. And it's the same with San Andreas. But in GTA 4, it just felt like you were always this kind of guy that would never really get like a lot of money, would never really become a kingpin. You were always working for other people. You were just this like you moved up a little bit, but you didn't really achieve anything at the end of the day. Whether it's like, yeah, GTA 5, you feel like you're like the total dude by the end of it, or dudes, because it's like three characters, but still.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in Vice City, I only ever completed two story missions.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
literally just spent the whole time fucking spamming,
It's really
spamming
bad,
cheats.
man. It's a good
Or
story.
yeah, my brother used to play it for the story, but I just always thought, why would I play it? Why would I sit there and do a storyline when I could kill the shotgun this, you know, pedestrian and steal this really nice sports car and then go kill like a load of
None
other
or
people
something,
trying to
yeah.
fly. Ah, I
Yeah.
used to love the cheat where you could drive on water. That was brilliant. But yeah, that was literally what I used to do. So that's why I'm sort of excited for this one because I can actually appreciate a storyline now. Whereas
Yeah.
when GTA was out, I was of the age where I couldn't. So
Yeah.
I'm legitimately looking forward to this one.
I am as well, actually. It's weird because I have played it before, but I haven't played the single player for so long, or the online, and I think one of the things lacking in the online was just the number of people on the server, and also I wanted to play it with some of my PC friends as well, which I couldn't do at the time.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think it would be really fun. I mean, the graphics do seem a lot better as well, and like I don't know. I mean, I'm toying with the idea of transferring my Xbox character onto PC, but then I'm not sure if I really
Oh,
want
can
to
you
do
do
that.
that?
Yeah, you can. Um,
Oh,
but I'm not sure if I want to do that really. I kind of like the idea of starting fresh.
yeah.
Um,
Cool that they put that option in there.
yeah. I think you also get a couple of other bonuses in the single player if you've had the game on like another platform and then you move to PC or
Yeah.
PS4 or Xbox One or whatever, there's like a couple of extra items or quests
Yeah.
and stuff.
They generally do incentives like that, don't they?
Yeah, but I don't think it's anything particularly amazing. But yeah. Oh, I've got a survival game we could talk about, since we went a bit off the beaten track on that.
Yeah.
Technically, you have to survive in a way in GTA.
Yeah. You have to
Yeah, like
survive the hardship of life.
the
Yeah.
survival of your soul, like
Scarier
Kinda-
than zombies, frankly.
Yeah. So, right, what's this
Well,
survival game you're on about?
I don't know if you've played it or not, Kasey. It doesn't look like you have, looking at Steam. But it's called a Kerbal Space Program.
No.
How is it a survival game?
Kind of is a survival
What?
game. Like, because you can kill your Kerbals.
What is a Kerbal? I'm just imagining loads of Kirby's.
Kerbal's an awesome green little thing.
Kerbal Space Program is basically a sandbox spaceship building game where you run a small space program that's populated by these little green little alien guys called Kerbals.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's just sort of, with the new updates, you complete missions and you can research parts and you can visit other planets. It's a very good game, frankly.
It's
It
like-
does sound quite cool, to be honest.
It's a lot of fun. It's very difficult at first to kind of get your head around it, and it's a really different way of playing a game. Like, the whole point of the game is not like, I mean, actually they've got missions in now, so maybe there is a bit of a point. But in the past, like it was all just kind of sandboxy to start off with. So everyone made their own kind of like missions to do. So it was like, the first one is pretty much, I want to be able to get in the atmosphere and not crash back onto the planet. And then it's like, ooh, I can go to the moon, and like, and then slowly you're trying to get to other planets. But it actually required a little bit of physics kind of learning. So I think it was become a tool in schools as well, isn't it? Like they use it in schools for kids as well to learn a bit about physics.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
That's pretty cool.
I think in
Although
America
most of it-
they did something with it, like they adapted it for schools or something. I think somewhere.
Hmm.
Although, admittedly, most of your first couple hours in the game will be spent accidentally killing Bill, Bob, and Jeb
Yeah.
over and over and over.
The next 5 hours after that will be spent watching YouTube videos trying to work out what the hell to do.
Yeah, you'll be a lot of, hello, Scott Manley here.
Yeah, Scott
Coming
Manley's
from your
the dude.
computer.
He's the man. He knows everything. Okay, what about, I know one, FTL. What about FTL?
Oh, I love FTL.
I've heard of that.
FTL is kind of like space game. I know what you'd call it, really. Like, you have your little ship, and you have
Is it
to
like
kind of-
Eve online?
No, it's not like
It's-
Eve.
Oh, okay.
Think a roguelike spaceship managing simulator.
Yeah, the
Right.
managing part sounded really boring, but it's actually quite fun.
Yeah. It's really difficult, too.
Yeah, have you actually ever completed it?
I have never beat it, no.
No, nor have I.
Like, I
It's
even
really
got
hard.
the Mantis ship and everything, and I could not beat it.
Yeah. It's...
Eventually, I installed a free roaming mod.
I'm not surprised. Like, I don't know anyone that's like completed it. I know some people. I've heard of people doing it, but it's really, really difficult. You kind of have your own ship, and you kind of on these stages where you have to get to the end of this like little map, and you have like each time you jump to a new place, and you get like attacked, or you have to solve a problem, or things like that. And you keep going through these little maps and gaining stuff so you can upgrade your ship and do all these kind of cool things. And then eventually I think you end up fighting a big boss if you manage to survive that long, which a lot of people don't, and then you get killed. If you're not good. Like, no one seems to be able to do it. I can't do it.
There's a game my friend plays
Mm.
that I actually sort of like the look of and might actually end up buying.
Uh-huh.
Called Subnautica,
Okay.
and basically you're in like an alien underwater world, and everything's trying to kill you. So basically you got to like craft equipment and terraform like the terrain and trick the little creatures to leave you alone and stuff, and just basically so that you can explore the coral reef, and like graphically it looks really quite nice actually. Like it could be a really good chill game.
Oh, cool.
And the fact that it's in like an alien world is makes it look really creative, and the fact you've still got to survive, um, just like as a scuba man, I guess. I don't know how you actually end up in this alien world or anything, but it's it doesn't look pretty good. But he says he's like addicted to it whenever he plays it.
Really?
Yeah, he says it's really good.
There's a base building in it, isn't there?
I don't
I
know.
remember seeing some videos on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty out there with the stuff you can do. So I don't know too much about it, but
You pretty much had me at underwater base building. I don't know why, but I've always had a fantasy, a really cool underwater base that I could go to. Or
Yeah.
something. That'd be awesome.
I mean, you can build like massive submarines, and I think you can sort of build a base in your submarine or something, and then just ship around. I don't know, but that's a cool one for people to check out, I think.
Is it multiplayer at all?
I
So I'm trying to have a look now, but can't see it.
We're
I don't-
prepared.
I don't think it is.
See, that's it. I don't know. I'm very much an online player a lot of the time.
Yeah, I like online. I think it might be. I don't know.
I kind of find with survival games, I mainly want to play them with other people.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know, I played The Forest on my own, I quite enjoyed that.
That's sort of why I didn't buy Dying Light.
Oh yeah, I did try that out actually. It was alright. I don't know, I didn't get that far into it, I kind of got bored.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. It looks like it'd be really good, but
I think it is good. I think it depends on what kind of person you are. Like,
if you
I
like
get-
solo play, I guess, yeah.
I think that's the thing. I mean, for me, I'll play RPGs solo, especially like Japanese RPGs and things like Dragon Age. Yeah, the new Dragon Age I played a lot of and that kind of thing. But anything that isn't like story based, I'm like heavily story based. That's single player, I don't tend to play.
Right.
I don't know why. I kind of like single player for story and multiplayer for like kind of all these kind of survival games or the dreaded League of Legends, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I know what you mean. I'm sort of like I bought Far Cry 4,
Uh-huh.
and I'm sort of like it's the same thing. Like I really enjoyed it at first, but where I'm so used to playing with other friends, it is so like it just makes you feel so isolated playing on your own.
Yeah.
and it just completely stopped me playing the game, and it's something I actually think that they could benefit from if, like, say on the next Far Cry, if they made it so that you jump into a server with other guys, but then again, it could end up just getting like another DayZ, but just on Far Cry. So I guess we've got to
Like
find balance it.
family.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone will make a mod for Far Cry though. Well, they probably have, haven't they? There's probably
yeah.
some online mod. Like
I
they
mean,
did that
yeah.
for Just Cause, I think.
Yeah, Just Cause
Yeah,
2
they
mod
did.
is so fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
My favorite part was back in the beta. I don't know if you can still do this, but you could have like 50 people latch onto the same helicopter,
Alright.
and then it would like they would all end up like spinning around at like light speed around the helicopter, and it would play the stock scream sound 100 times over. So go ah.
That sounds brilliant.
Oh my god. Yeah, it reminds me of like playing games like Counter-Strike, where people would like kill someone and then play Britney Spears down the microphone or something crazy like that.
I've not had that happen to me yet.
My favorite sort of voice thing is it's not from mics from other players, but it was in these in-game stock voices in Chivalry Medieval Warfare.
Oh, I love that game.
Yeah, I love it too. I think I have
Oh
something
my
like 300 hours in it now or something.
Yeah, I think the voice in that are absolutely hilarious. Actually, absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, voice actors for those taunts.
Yeah, true heroes of mankind.
Your wife is a hobby horse.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's good stuff. Like, I'm trying to think of any other survival games now. We're coming up with quite a lot, which is quite good.
There's quite a
like,
few.
a lot of random. I've been playing it. Oh, I know. I've been playing Five Nights at Freddy's. Have you heard of that?
I've heard
I
of
feel
it,
like we're
yeah.
broadening the definition of survival game here by quite a bit.
Well, we are, but then I'd say Five Nights at Freddy's are kind of that's a survival game, right? Because you die if you like mess up. Single player.
All right, if Five Nights at Freddy's gets to be called a survival game, I want Dark Souls to be called a survival game. Get some negotiation here.
Arguably, it is though, right? Because it's
Well, you don't really survive. You die a lot.
yeah, exactly. Although then I could say Pillars of Eternity or Baldur's Gate were survival games, because like.
Oh, well, how about
you don't-
Half-Life in this? Let's just make everything a survival
Yeah.
game. Technically, you're alive at some
Five
point,
Nights
you
at
know?
Freddy is legitimately a survival game. It's about.
I want my favorite dating sim to be a survival game. Thank
What's that? The Sims.
you. No, the dating sims, like visual novels.
Oh, I've never played any of them. God, I'm so
Good.
innocent. I should maybe play one of them. Sounds like fun.
Sorry for derailing that. Please continue.
I'm so sad and lonely. What was I gonna say? You've totally taken me off track now. God damn it. Five Nights at Freddy's is a survivor game, god damn it, because the whole point of the game is to survive 5 nights at Freddy's. That's a survivor game. Come on.
I don't know. I've
Legitimately
always
a
just
survivor game.
I've always seen survival games as like ooh, man, I have to put my thoughts into words now. This is hard. I don't know. I've always seen survival game as just those standard game where you're sort of thrown into the wilderness and
Yeah.
food and water are priorities.
Like Stranded Deep.
And yeah, like Stranded Deep. I've never really seen something like Five Nights at Freddy's. I've always just seen it as sort of a standard horror game. I mean, in a way, it definitely is a survival game because, survival is your priority. But the only element that is a threat to your survival are animatronics, not the
Yeah.
elements or anything.
I suppose, like, it's interesting. It's like music, like, kind of, how genres get really kind of, I don't know, become really, like, they mean anything. Like, if you look at
Yeah.
punk, like, punk kind of means lots of things, lots of music. It's, like, become really weird genre. Indie as well. Indie used to be just, like, certain types of, like, generally, I don't know, originally, like, English music, I think, like, on, like, indie labels, and then it became this whole, like, genre of random music.
Yeah. I guess you're right. It is really subjective, isn't it?
Yeah, I
'cause
don't know.
I guess you could call Call of Duty a survival game on the single player, because if you die, then you've got to start over again.
I think the funniest thing I saw about Call of Duty later,
Find
a
cans of
couple of
beans
days
in the new
ago,
Call of Duty.
like, everyone uses Call of Duty as an insult, like, go back to COD Kitty,
Yeah.
like, that whole thing. Like, I was reading an article about GTA 5, and, like, someone was harassing someone else, like, saying, go back to COD Kitty, like, we play real games, like GTA 5 Online, and I'm thinking, like, GTA 5 Online isn't that different. Like, the kind of audience you get for GTA 5 Online is the same you get for Call of Duty. Like the majority of the audience are generally going to be, like, I would think, like, kind of your jock type person in general. Like, it's the kind of game every single like the majority of people would play, right? GTA 5 Online, like that's the target market. It's the same for like Call of Duty. So I think those kind of arguments kind of become a bit redundant.
Well, I don't really know if I agree with that statement that just the standard Call of Duty player is the high school jock, or if that's a bad thing. I mean, you know my stance on Call of Duty by now, most likely that I think it's
Awesome.
generally I dislike the game, but
Yeah.
I think it's brought a very large community into the gaming community, if that makes any sense what I just said. And I don't think it's really bad just because you're a jock type person, only play Call of Duty or only play GTA Online.
No,
Like,
I don't
you're
think
not a
it's
real
bad.
gamer, you know. I feel like that's.
Elitist.
I feel like we sort of use that as an insult every once in a while, and I don't think that's really fair. What is a real
I think that's
gamer?
true. I mean, I think the problem with gaming as well, though, is it's something that like has been different in different generations. So it used to be such a niche thing that
Going on.
Yeah.
like I mean, I used to play stuff like Baldur's Gate, and like gaming was like a lot more complex and stuff, and was a lot more like permadeathy, which they're kind of bringing that back. But I think as it's kind of diversified and like loads more people have got involved, that has dumbed down certain genres. So there is like, especially with older gamers, like they do sometimes act very elitist about things. I think because they're a bit bitter about how sort of mainstream gaming has impacted upon what used to be kind of in existence. Which is totally changing now because of Kickstarter. There's like they're bringing back loads of these projects, and even the survival genre, when it first started, was very like bringing back kind of very old school ideals from games like Star Wars Galaxies and things like that. So
Yeah, and in the end, this could just be seen as sort of growing pains for the industry, you know?
yeah,
I mean, it started off as a very niche thing where it's with a small population, and now that it's diversified, you have this massive community. It's worldwide, and people from all sorts of backgrounds, from playing games on their phones to playing CSGO and streaming it.
I mean, I think the frightening thing I've discovered, at least in European games, like I think what shocked me actually sometimes, like, because you can have really amazing communities, but you can also have some really aggressive communities. I mean, from playing League of Legends, where people take it very, very seriously. And if they lose, they get very upset. But not only is it quite an aggressive community at times because of those factors, what shocked me quite a lot within that specific game was, especially in Europe, I don't know what the American server's like. I've heard it's a lot more friendly, but I think one thing I've been quite shocked at is issues of racism, homophobia, all these kind of things that are kind of almost seen as acceptable in that community by the general community, if you see what I mean.
Right.
I mean, I've known people who have made teams called things like concentration camp and stuff like that, and they think that's kind of acceptable. You know, and they don't get banned for these kind of things, and I think that's not. I mean, they don't even have a report system to kind of, you know, apart from in a game, you know, after a game you can report someone. You can't see someone's sort of account where they've got a racist name or they're kind of promoting some anti-Jewish sentiment or something. Like, you can't actually physically report that unless you kind of go through the whole process of finding the email address of customer service and all that kind of thing. There's no in-game kind of report system for those things. Do you know what I mean on the client?
You know, it comes down to the end. There's only so much that the devs can do. You know, linking this back to, say, DayZ, I mean, I wouldn't really blame Rocket for the bad community that sort of evolved out of DayZ. That's
definitely
sort of
not. No.
Terrible. Yeah, it was the community's fault in the end.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the thing when you have very big communities. There's a lot of positives from it because it brings a lot of people together. But there also becomes a lot of negatives because if you have such a big community, it becomes harder to manage sort of the problems, and minorities can often feel like a majority voice at times, even if they're not.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's never really the developer's fault. I mean, I think in the case of like a game like League of Legends, there are things they could do. They, especially in terms of merely just having a button where you can right click on someone's name, say if they're in your friends list, and they've got some sort of very negative name, or even in terms of things like you have spam people that add you and then spam you, just a way of right clicking their name and reporting them as a spam bot. There's like a lot of really simple things that the developers could do at that company with those issues, like especially considering how much money they earn, and really like they do release content, but for the amount of money they make, you kind of think you could invest like $10,000 into making a button that sends across like a scripted message to a server, a customer support. Like,
Oh, that's a Valve.
yeah, there you go. Like, it's not like actually rocket science as well. It's not like
Yeah.
like it's not hard to do that for a company, but
Yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from with that.
yeah.
I feel like after this little conversation, I feel like a major step forward for the gaming community, I suppose you could call it, is switching from the mentality that it's like solely the developer's responsibility to fix these problems, but it's also our responsibility to regulate our own
Definitely.
community. I feel like we can sort of start seeing that a little bit. I think you could see that every once in a while in the community, but
Well, I think also people tend to focus on negative experiences more than positive ones. So you're more likely to remember negative experiences than you are sort of positive ones. I think there's a lot of
yeah.
positive things in big communities, but like it is much easier to remember negative experiences.
Plus, it's much more fun to talk about that one guy who got really salty that one day and just called you a bunch of names.
Oh, what, me? Are you talking about a specific time, or are you just talking about in general? Because I had a really funny one on League of Legends where I was on holiday in France, and we played this ranked game, me and a friend of mine, Justin, and after this guy was like harassing me all game, like telling me he was gonna kill me. And anyway, after the game, he's like, "I traced your IP address. I'm gonna come to your house and murder you." And like he was telling me all these things he was gonna do to me and all this kind of stuff. And I just wrote to him, "Well, actually, I'm on holiday, so I'm only here for a few days, so you'll never be able to find me. I'm sorry, man." And it's just like, but some of the stuff like people can potentially say is horrendous, and it has happened in the past. So there's very small minority of people, but there has been occasions, I think, with Counter-Strike where someone has actually physically gone to someone's house and actually killed them, or
Yeah,
beaten
or
them
swatted
up.
them.
Yeah.
That's a new thing.
Oh yeah, Jesus, yeah, that has happened. I've seen that on who was it? Was it Phantom Lord who's a streamer for League of Legends? He got like sent loads of pizzas or something, and, like for days, and then SWAT turned up because this hacker or something had like, I don't know, like said that he had a hostage or something. Yeah, and then the SWAT came and they got taken away and he came back. And they also did like really weird stuff, like they said we're gonna take down the League of Legends server if you don't win this next game, and then he lost and they took it down, and they were like, you have to play this like I don't know, something, this is just an example, but it's some really stupid game like Hello Kitty Online or something, and you have to play that for like the next 2 hours and we won't take down this server, and he went and did it. I think it was him or it was someone else, but there was like some really crazy stories from like what people have done.
I mean, I wrote a Reddit post basically outlining how I think that League of Legends and Riot should implement a system where you basically just a communication system, so like on CS:GO and stuff, where basically you have like a team comms, and I suppose it's what Curse Voice is doing. in regards to being able to talk your team in like with ease. But I think if they put it so that you had a microphone, like if you have a microphone, then you can obviously just chat with your teammates. One, it will be good for the game because it's a lot easier to coordinate shit talking with your team than pinging.
Yeah.
But also, if something goes wrong, people aren't gonna flame as much as if they were typing.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Because
something about Curse Voice, right? This was my expect, like, because Wright have said about that specific issue. Well, if we have like microphones and everyone can talk to each other, like we won't be able to monitor people slagging each other off, and it will make the community worse and all that kind of stuff. Now, from my experience with Curse Voice when it came out and you were allowed to use it, and at the time when they had the mic thing, before they kind of banned it for a period of time while they removed like the way that all worked, it was amazing. I won every single game. I had Curse Voice on. I ended up with
did people actually use it though?
Yeah, people, like, loads of people used it at that time because it would automatically sync up everyone that had Curse Voice, which was a lot of people at the time.
Right.
And
Oh, that's really cool.
yeah, it was really cool, but like it was because it messed with the API, right? It weren't that keen on it, but it meant that like people were every game I had, I won. Everyone was so friendly, like they were real people, like there was no flame because they were kind of you don't sit and tell someone that you wish them cancer and you're going to kill them when you're speaking to them and you can hear their voice. It's just such a different
Tell that to the
situation
average
to be in.
Counter-Strike player.
Well, yeah, maybe. I think with League, because it's such a long game and it requires strategy, it's kind of people always think they can still win as well. So there's a bit more like I don't know. From my experiences, it was the communication was just so good. It just made for such a nicer game. Even when you were messing up, people would be like, "Oh, it's all right, man," and all that kind of thing. But I think the more human you can make gaming with, like in terms of people's interactions in communities, the better. And I think voice is the way to do that. Like, there'll be a lot less issues communities with that way of communicating.
I think that people aren't dicks when they have to vocalize what they're thinking,
Exactly.
and I think that would help the community. Yeah, okay, it's going to be hard to police, but I think I don't know. I want to sort of say they could record, but I don't want to say that because then, obviously it's a whole privacy thing. But then again, you're playing a game,
I don't.
and
Would that even be possible to record that many?
of course it would.
I meant in terms of
It'd
like
be
financially.
pretty resource demanding.
Yeah.
Like you need a really big server to deal with that. The amount of people that play.
Yeah, but it could just be a temporary storage, and then if, for instance, okay, so say me and you play a game, right? And there's a guy on our team that flames. I report him. And like say like two people report him or something, or I report him, then that track then gets saved, and then it would link into the tribunal system that they're at some point gonna release.
What, bring it back? Down for like 2 years.
Yeah. So then link into the tribunal system, and then somebody could listen to it and then deem what they think from the and then after that it can just get deleted. Like I don't know. There's ways around it, but
they don't. I mean, I think they actually physically can't. It seems like they've got an automated system at the moment, and they haven't brought back the tribunal and all of that. So, which is questionable anyway. Like getting the community to police themselves is kind of a bit psychotic, in my opinion.
Could you explain this tribunal system to me?
Well, the idea
interesting.
of it was like originally was they had these. You could earn some like extra things originally from it. You could get some IP, which was you could spend on champions or whatever. But basically, you could log into this tribunal thing, and you could review 15 or 20 cases, something like that, and you would read the chat logs from a specific person who had been reported several times. So you would read the chat logs from several games that they played. I think something like 5 games or something, three or 5 games, and you read the chat logs, and then you'll place your vote on each one in terms of, do you think that their behaviour was toxic? And it's certainly an interesting read.
I mean,
what was the most interesting one?
Oh God, I don't even know. It's all sorts. You have people with major racism, and then you have people who are literally just having a mental breakdown. I mean, if we're talking about survival games, I think League of Legends is a game is definitely about survival of the fittest psychologically, because if you're unable to take people being incredibly aggressive and negative towards you on a regular basis, then
the game is not for you.
The game is not for you. You have to have a very hard skin and accept
survival of the saltiest.
Yeah, definitely.
Survival of Elo Hell.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, there are some positives about the community, but again, I mean, I'd suggest if you're someone that gets easily upset about these things, which is understandable considering how abusive people can be sometimes in the community, and you want to play ranked, play in a team, because it's a lot nicer. You play with your friends, and you learn together, and you work on your problems together instead of being abused. I mean, I do play solo queue as does Kasey, which is, because we can sort of deal with it, but it's not particularly nice.
I look at the League community, and then I look at the CS:GO community, and I look at how toxic each are, and League is completely toxic. Like, it is rare to actually find a nice, genuine team where nobody flames throughout the whole game, even if someone fucks up, someone feeds, like, you're probably not going to find it.
I think it depends. It depends on where you are in ranked, because a lot of people say, "Oh, there's toxicity in every area of the game," and I agree that's true. But I think it's much more prevalent in, say, bronze, silver, kind of low gold. Like, there's a lot more. People have got a lot more to prove at that point, and there's a lot to learn in League, and it takes a long time to learn more and more stuff. And it's very easy when you play to think, oh, well, I'm good at everything, I understand everything, my teammates holding me back. And there is an element of that anyway. If you are pretty good, you can still get held back by your teammates, so it's even more complex than that. But I think it's a lot more prevalent in lower elos to have very angry people. I find in higher elo games, people communicate.
People won't
more.
flame as much, yeah.
I mean, they do, but not to the same. I don't think I've had someone wish me cancer at all. I've had. No, I haven't. I don't think this season anyone's wished cancer upon me at all. I mean, I think people have maybe been abusive to me, maybe 3 or 4 times, which isn't very much. In fact, people have been abusive to me when I've played with you, Kasey, on my stream.
I was just gonna say that.
You sound like sort of like the victim of an abusive husband. He's only beaten me a couple times.
Well,
he's a good guy.
It does
I deserved
feel
it.
Like that,
yeah.
I deserved it. Well, I did on the games I played badly, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, if I compare them and I look at CS:GO, where I play on CS:GO, I'm pretty shocking at CS:GO, and I generally die. I generally have a 0.25 KDA on that, so I'll kill for every 4th death, and I
CS:GO, wow.
Yeah, I play on competitive as well. I don't bother on it.
Oh no.
Yeah, but
You're one of those people.
I still don't get flamed, and
Really?
and then when I get a kill, people are actually saying, good job, you finally got a kill. And yeah, okay, it's sarcastic, but it's better than them. It's better than them saying that than saying, "Oh my God, can you just leave?" or "Everybody vote kick this guy." Like some people do it, but generally, I don't get flamed.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is really different from my CS:GO experience.
Yeah,
I
maybe it's
I
just
guess
because.
yeah, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I just want to put that down to as well. Like, I'm always talking in CS:GO as well. Like, I'm always communicating with my teammates, and I think that because of that aspect, they know that okay, I might not be bad, but at least I'm actually giving them information towards helping them win and helping them
Yeah.
carry. Whereas, like, I think in League, if you could do that, more effective than pinging. Like, so for instance, say I'm top and I've got a ward on like the Pixel Bush and River,
Yeah.
and my jungler sees the enemy jungler coming up to gank, and I don't see him, and I'm still pushed forward. If my jungler can say, "Yo, you're gonna get ganked," just saw the enemy jungler get
Yeah.
back, I can get back. If they just ping saying to be careful, or just put a little red exclamation mark, I'm just gonna look at that and go, right, okay, well, is that for me or is that for mid lane? Where's the jungler going? What direction? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot. I think we'll have to move on in a sec because I can imagine Chance's eyes glaze over because he's not much of a League of Legends fan.
yeah,
But
so
I'd
What?
say,
but
but
that was that
I
was
mean,
just to try and link into why I think they should bring sort of a chat, a
yeah,
voice
I agree with you. I mean,
protocol towards League,
I think
especially in
it's good in
ranked.
any game.
Yeah,
I mean, I think yeah. I think there are reasons people are very toxic in that community. I think it's because people really want to be the best and they watch, dreams and whatever, and the game does on face value seem very easy.
yeah,
And the complexity to it as you play it for longer and all the little bits you pick up, like it takes a long time, and like for people just think it's, they'll be playing in sort of, high bronze or something and think, oh, it's everyone else's fault. I know exactly what I'm doing. Like it, because it just appears so easy. It looks like an easy game. It's quite simplistic, but it actually isn't in the kind of long run. But anyway, we'll
yeah,
move on.
yeah.
We'll move on.
Let's move on.
So I don't know. We kind of went off survival games for a bit,
Yeah,
which is
Well,
fine.
as we addressed before, everything's a survival game now.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh yeah, I kind of justified why League was. Yes. I don't know. I can't really think of any more survival games, to be honest. I can talk about Five Nights at Freddy, but I haven't played it that much. I mean, I just got the shit scared out of me and then stopped playing it.
The most I did was watch a YouTuber play it, like 90% of everyone else.
Yeah. Well, I literally I think I got killed and then I just this thing screamed in my face and I just pressed escape twice and suddenly I was out of the game and I was free from that horror. So
I remember how when I was younger, I was never really interested in anything scary or horror, like for movies and especially games. Oh my god.
yeah.
But now that I've gotten older, I actually kind of enjoy the scary games more.
Yeah.
That adrenaline rush, I guess.
I like experiencing them with friends more than anything.
Oh, I like shutting all the lights off and getting ready for a spooktacular.
Just freak yourself out, sit in a quiet, dark room.
Basically the
Yeah.
rest of my life.
Yeah, I don't know. I think. I mean, what do you think about the state of survival games? I mean, I kind of feel that, like a lot of people have said, I suppose in the recent media and stuff, that kind of the survival genre is kind of oversaturated, and it's like the dream of DayZ has never been recreated because I don't know, it was a one-off kind of experience, once upon a time. I don't know what you guys think about that.
I feel like multiplayer, like massively multiplayer survival is on the way out for now,
Yeah.
at least. single-player survival has been really successful, in my opinion. I mean, I feel like we've overlooked one of the biggest survival games ever, Minecraft, in this entire podcast.
My god. Yes.
I did mention
And
it.
that is, like, even that's kind of multiplayer, but I feel like it's more known for its success as a single-player game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is responsible for bringing a lot of people into the gaming community.
Definitely. We have briefly touched upon it at one point, I think,
Yeah, I mentioned it with.
but not in enough detail because I
Okay,
think it
no.
is a very important game for the survival genre.
Yeah,
I feel like
I
it's
think
sort of-
I think after the first day, it gets to the point where it's not so much a survival game; it's more of a creative game. Personally,
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
you'll get to survive. You still have to survive, but it gets to the point where you build 4 walls out of sand, and then the day after that, you get some more resources, and then as soon as you get a furnace and you start getting bricks, then it's pretty much GG. That's the end of the survival. Let's just create something awesome. You know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or you just end up trolling each other's buildings and
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
seem to
pretty much
remember
all I do.
like you drowning me in one of my glass pyramid buildings or something.
Oh
And I was like, cheers man, I spent like 2 hours building that. Now you just like filled it with water and drowned me or something. God.
Oh, those were the days.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. Oh, there was a cool game. Was it StarMade? Remember StarMade?
Oh, that game. Ugh.
It was
know how
really
I feel.
fun. Come
I-
on.
I liked the concept of it. I liked the whole build your own spaceship thing, but I don't. Are they even updating it anymore?
It's now in early access on Steam, and you can buy it.
Oh, certified seal of approval right there.
I think it's. Is it Greenlight or not? I'll have a look. StarMade.
But let's
Oh,
be
yeah.
honest. I feel like the legitimacy of Steam Early Access is in serious question right now.
Why so? Is there anything in particular? Or do you mean because
well,
of StarMade? Because I think
I don't know.
StarMade
I've just sort of seen game after game on Early Access just flop or stop being updated or just turn out to be complete crap.
Yeah. Most of them survive.
That doesn't mean all of them are.
Interesting, though.
Definitely not, but
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think early access is a bit of a weird one. Like, I think every project I've got involved in has kind of been a success. I mean, pretty much.
So, do you know what I think that I really want to see?
Hmm.
Did you guys ever play Tenchu?
Oh,
What
is
is
that
it?
a ninja game?
Yeah, the ninja game Tenchu.
I played it on PlayStation when I was about 12.
Right, okay.
Like, the PlayStation 1.
Yeah. Like, that game, right, is fucking awesome, right? I don't care who says it's not. But the game Tenchu Z was awesome. And I think that it's somewhat survival, but I think the element of stealth is amazing in it. Even though
Yeah.
it's sort of pretty bad because, you know, the guys can't see you when you're like 2 meters in front of them. But if they made a game where it was sort of Tenchu but a survival game, but multiplayer, so I guess co-op or sort of like match-made lobbies of like 5 guys and stuff. You know, I think that could be a really cool survival game. Like, if
What
you
is
got
Tenchi though? Can you give us an idea? Because I
Tenchu,
all I remember is a ninja thing.
yeah, basically you're a ninja working for your master ninja, and you just gotta basically do a load of missions for your guy to help save the ninjas and help kill all the samurais.
Ninjas
And
versus samurais.
yeah, that is literally it. And
Sweet.
it's just really stealthy and it's really fun, like the customizations you can have on it and stuff.
See,
But I
see
think
what I'd love.
What?
Actually, carry on. I don't want to ruin your idea. You carry on. So
yeah, no, I
if we're
just
sharing
think
ideas. I'll let you
I
go
just think
first.
that'd be such a cool like survival game, like brought into like now, because I mean the last game was brought out in like 2011, 12,
Yeah.
and I think like there's no real ninja games out like now. There was a big period where it was like Ninja Gaiden Fest, but apart from that, like it's just sort of died now. There's no ninja games anymore. Like there's no multiplayer ninja games. There's never really been a multiplayer ninja game. And I think if there's a game that's made and you're a bunch of ninjas that can be customized to look however the fuck you want, as long as it's still relevant, but even it doesn't have to
I can't be a pirate.
You can be a pirate, seeing as
Yay!
it does sort of historically coexist. And I think if you were just like, could you imagine like a group of like 10 guys on TeamSpeak playing this ninja game, and you've got to like go into this massive Japanese fucking castle, and you've all got to coordinate so that you can like get to this one goal, and you know, I don't know how it, yeah, like kill
Ninja them
someone,
up.
whatever. Yeah, but somewhat do it like a survival game so that maybe you could do it so it's like samurais versus ninjas. I don't know, and you have two opposing teams. But I
So
think,
like chivalry, basically.
yeah, I guess so. A ninja chivalry, but not so deathmatchy, more calculated.
You see, what I'd really like, because Chance mentioned pirates, and this is what I was just thinking before, because you said ninjas and the whole ninjas versus pirates war that everyone has.
I go
but-
robots.
Yeah, robots. That's pretty out there, man. Ninjas, pirates, and robots. That'd be really weird.
Yeah.
Maybe in space aliens as well, just to make it really weird. But no, like, what I'd really like is a survivor game, where it's based in like the Caribbean, right? And you start. It's a bit like, it's not really like Minecraft. It's much more 3D. But then you can do stuff like, the idea is you're in this kind of Caribbean place, and you can choose like, I know you kind of like work it out for yourself, but like, you can like work out how to build boats, and like you're all stranded on different islands, and then you kind of, you can become a pirate and build your own ship, and then like totally take out like the other pirates and have pirate wars. But then you also have to survive, like get some coconuts and like drink some coconut milk, and I don't know, like like a bit like the Stranded Deep but with pirates and like lots of people.
So like Stranded Deep cross Assassin's Creed Black Flag
Cross salt.
Cross
DayZ.
Cross
no zombies.
that there was an MMO, pirate MMO as well at some point.
Oh fuck it, let's just put pirate zombies in there too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that Pirates
Zombie
game by
infested
Sid Meier,
Caribbean.
Yeah, there can be like a no-go zone where there's zombie pirates.
that could be like a $25 add-on. We could sell it as an EA product. It'd be amazing.
Well, we've just come up with two legitimately good ideas.
Yeah, we're gonna be
Yeah, we better
famous
go out
game
and copyright
developers.
those
Yeah, we better.
before somebody steals them.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I just love ninja games and want them to come back, that's all.
Ninjas are alright, but I don't know. I never got the ninja thing.
I love ninjas, man.
I mean, maybe if it was like a role-playing ninja game where like I had to be stealthy and like could backstab someone and like had different assassination missions, like that'd be quite cool.
That's basically Tenchu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
People. Welcome, random person, to the podcast from America. And then there was silence. We'll just leave Chance to deal with the situation that he's dealing with.
I'm a professional.
Oh, he's back! He's back. Cool, welcome back, man. What were we talking about? I can't remember now. Pirates, ninjas. I think that'd be an appropriate like place to end the podcast. Actually,
Yeah.
what do you think? I think we've like discussed many a pirate and many a ninja and gone off on random tangents and survived
Many a
it.
community, many a survival.
Indeed.
We should go play Osu since that's also a survival game now, I guess. right?
Oh, Osu's
Surviving your own
amazing.
way, yeah.
What is?
Osu, like anyone that listens to the
Osu.
podcast should play Osu. Osu.
Yeah, I found that through watching Box.
Oh, Box, the god Riven player from League of Legends. What a
Yeah.
hero.
I hate him for the pure fact that I know I love him, but I hate his viewers for the pure fact they all play Riven thinking they're box,
Yeah.
and they're usually on my team, and they're usually nowhere near box.
And on that note, we'll leave on that note.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
a
leave
good
on that
idea.
note.
So thanks everyone for joining today. It's been a pretty fun podcast.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool.
And yeah.
Should I end it on a new chime?
Should you what, man?
Should I end it on like a new chime or something?
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Chances
alright,
to end it on a chime. Here we
I'm
go.
gonna lay down some sick beats.
Do it,
Okay,
man.
ready?
I'm ready, man.
Do 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 do. Here we go. You're welcome.
It sounded like countdown.